So this is the last day of Everate. I've done all of my matches, and now I'm going to show you, of course, my Everest defense. Last time I talked about the Lost Castle map for the cave line, and now this is it. The first time I am using it. So there are several setups possible. Let me show you the builds first. There are definitely two setups that I really like. This one, for example, if you bait Lin only, Lilina moves here. However, if you bait either Veronica or Mia, Lilina should move here. So yes, even if it's only Veronica, Lilina should move here. Again, because the rally up is working differently than a normal rally. And this is why I strongly suggest a rally up for a rally trap curve line. Made possible, of course, with odd recovery. The only problem with this setup is if someone uses sabotage attack Mila, Bramimon is not protected, and eventually it's possible that Veronica moves here to restore Bramimon after Lilina has been danced by Triandra. Triandra has aerobatics in case Lilina moves here for Lin. So the good thing here, what happens if Lilina moves on the defense tile, as you can see, these two columns are not threatening. So there is a decent chance that someone will place a weak unit here. So Lilina moving here, she can snipe someone. She also covers for Veronica and Mia with the support of Infantry School, hitting pretty hard. And there is a second setup that I like pretty much is this one. Because it works in fact the same way. If you bait Mia, for example, what happens? Very simple. Lilina moves here. And same scenario happens. My problem with this setup, however, is the left side, as you can see, is weaker. And it is not threatening. So this is why I have to place two bolt traps just to make sure that they will not try to make their move here. Very important as well is a fortress. The placement of the fortress, because you don't want to see your enemy using a double smite and place the super tank in the defense tile. This is not okay. Don't let them do this. I make sure I use bolt traps here and fortress so that it's not easy for them to go here. So I only have one lift to loss here. So of course, the first day, first match, I wasn't ready yet. I was still trying to work on different possible setups. And I think maybe having Bramimon on the right side, maybe this is not a good thing. Because I think it's more likely that the enemy will have the opportunity, the chance to initiate turn 2 or turn 3, for example. I really want them to initiate engage turn 1 because odd recovery works on odd turns. The good thing of having 3 cavaliers next to each other, for example, 1 cavalry, 1 cavalry, 1 cavalry, is that it's more difficult for your opponents to position their units and hide them. While now if you have 1 cav, 1 cav, 1 cav, they are spaced out, so I think it's maybe easier for them to, hide the units for turn 1, I guess. Because I can definitely see the movement restriction being stronger if you have 3 calves next together like that. So here I wanted to protect the left side, which I found weaker, by placing the infantry school here, but I realized it was a mistake because this column now is not covered by infantry school. So if you have no 3 disrupt Brave Ike and you bait Veronica, you know that Veronica has no healing or restore target, and she has to commit a suicide attack, which is not what you want. So let me explain the builds for Lilina. Usually I have Hardy Bearing on Lilina, but I realized it wasn't necessary because only a few Brave Ike, only a few of them very strongly invested, maybe 4 mythics could survive Lilina without Hardy Bearing. I only need to upgrade the infantry score even more and giving her maybe Swift Sparrow something. Even without Hardy Bearing, Lilina should kill the Brave Ike. So I now have Speed Solo Seal on Lilina because she's not fast and I want her to be fast. I want her to kill also Freya, because Freya is good in a curve line, against a curve line. I also have Hardy Bearing on Veronica just in case someone would bait Veronica and Lynn. And instead of attacking Brave Ike, Lilina, for example, rally here and kill, for example, Mila. The nice thing about Hardy Bearing is that it could also work on a healer, I think. Because, I know this is not a big deal. Brave Ike is actually not that threatening. But I expect him to be used more often now because of the Resplendent skill. Some people will have the impression that now he is a god. It's not the case. But I expect some people will use him more often just because of a Resplendent skill he will get very soon. So imagine, for example, if you have Brave Ike baiting both Lynn and Veronica. The problem is that Lynn is faster, so she attacks twice, and the first counter attack of Brave Ike is a healing special. So his HP will be almost, 4 HP. However, if Veronica attacks after Lynn, maybe Veronica will die. But at least Brave Ike will not heal that much, thanks to the Hardy Bearing. if you haven't noticed, I have a quicken pause on Bramimon for one reason. As I have explained, the left side is weaker because also it's not protected by infantry score and it's not threatening because there is no cavaliers. So having quicken pause allows Bramimon, especially because now he's a bonus unit. If you fail to one-shot Bramimon, he will counter-attack immediately with Moonbow, and that is strong. So that was the idea. And the other reason why I don't want to use Hardy Bearing on Lilina anymore is because of Altina. I want to make sure that Lilina can one-shot Altina eventually. Most Altina that I see are not highly invested. And also they don't have summoner support. Which could be a good thing for me, because now she can one-shot her. But this is why I need something like Attack Speed Solo, Attack Def Solo, Sweet Sparrow, and upgrading Infantry Score even more. Because Altina is actually more of a problem than Brave Ike. So as you can see, you see that often people place a unit here because they feel this is safe. And I know that. This is predictable. This is why I do this. That's a trap. Having a one guaranteed kill turn 1 is very important. Because eventually it will make them think, should I continue or surrender? And also, the nice thing about Lilina ending up here is that now I am forcing the enemy to kill Lilina, otherwise she would be a problem. But now you see Triandra, Bramimon, Veronica, they are all here. You want to kill them, but Fortress is protecting Veronica and you have 2 ball traps. So you have to make a gamble. And that's not an easy thing. So here of course it's unfortunate because Chrome is not that fast. So Bramimon cannot make a follow-up. That's the only reason. Middling speed unit are kind of a weakness for Bramimon because he cannot get his follow-up. This is something weird on Peony. I don't get it, but why not? And again, double problem. One is Lilina will rally here and she has an easy target, Leon. and the tactics room is not working because of odd recovery. Not everyone will know the trick about odd recovery, but you should expect the average player to fall for it. This is why odd recovery is a blessing for Kevline. Especially now, this is something I think I have to talk about. Probably I will make a video soon about this. The fast save skill. I think I've seen this one yet. Yeah, okay. The fast save skill. It can be inherited to melee tanks, melee armor units, and this is actually a problem. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will probably understand later when I'm making this video, because I think I have to talk about this. Probably many people won't like my video because it seems to me many players have some hatred for the curve line. I mean, the curve line is not that much of a big deal if you play well. I have seen players using double Raven Tomes and fail against my curve line. And I have seen some streamers, FEH, Japanese or even Chinese players, they use some teams that I considered not very optimal against curve line, and yet they burnt the curve lines easily. Why? Because they are very smart. They play very, very well. The key thing, the key elements of success, I won't talk too much about this, but just one thing. If you want to have a chance against curve line, you need to predict the outcome of turn 2. Problem is that most people fail against curve line mainly because they can only think of the outcome turn 1, but not turn 2. They, for example, focus on column 1 or 2, they kill 2 calves in turn 1 because they baited them with the right counter pick unit. But then the other side, the right side, you have your weak support, Air, Peony, Altina, Naga, they do nothing and they got killed, both. You want to predict turn 2 outcome because you want to make a proper counter attack. If you know how to bait the units and force them to move where you want them to move, you can make a proper counter attack, and this would be much more fun. But again, you have to understand this. Because otherwise IS will release skills that make the job for you. That do the job for you. Instead of, trying to find the solution by smart playing, you can now use fast save skill and do some brain dead things, and the skill is working for you. So what that means is that the curve line is not losing against a smart player, but it is losing against a single skill. So that is different. But yes, fast save is definitely a threat to the average AR defense. It's not just a danger for the curve line, but relatively speaking, I think a fast save is more threatening to a cave line than any other. IP team should also be very weak against fast save. I can see that because IP team depends most on range threats, pretty much like a cave line. So that's the last one. Again, another Altina, which is nice to see. Very nice to see because I really want to know how good she is against my Kevline. However, it's unfortunate that I haven't seen one single summoner supported Winter Altina. Because I really need to see that. So that's it for this week. Next week in light season, dark season, I will be using this one. Probably this setup because Hell is actually the bonus unit. And I think if I place Hell here or here, this could be a real problem. A real problem. I will see later if I can work with that, with Hell in this Lost Castle map, because I like it. I like this Lost Castle map. I think it's different and I like trying different things, but it's very likely I'll have to move and change to this, back to this. So yeah, thanks for watching.